Good evening,
This
sir.
call is now.
Very good evening, dear students.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir. Good evening,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
Pranam
I
sir,
hope
good
you
evening.
Good
are
evening,
doing
sir.
well.
Good evening, sir.
You all welcome to this digital platform of IGNO,
Thank
MEM
you.
Education, and today we'll talk about your paper that is, you know very well, societal context of education, isn't it? So here, is it convenient to talk about English or I will use bilingual?
As per your choice, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. No issue. So thank you very much, dear students. So I'll try to share a screen. If it's visible, please tell me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes,
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 sir.
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 Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So thank you very much, dear students. Please you make your phone mute if any question comes to your mind after the class. You may raise your hand. Okay, fine. So let us will talk about today that is education and socialization on the your paper societal context of education. Fine. So you know very well that is it visible the screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it is very much important and very much needful for every teacher to understand the education in social point of view or with response to with respect to society, how education and society they are related, they are dependent, they are interrelated, and how education works as a tool for socialization, how socialization brings harmony in education, and how socialization is helpful for education, and education is how much responsible and fruitful through the society. Okay, so let us to understand the societal aspects of education. It is important to know what actually education is before knowing to the societal context. Fine. So it is very much important to know that what actually education is in society or societal perspectives. You all are educated that you know many things about the world, about the nation, about the country, state, and as well the society. So what happens through education in societal perspectives? You know, education is a process of character building. A human without a good character, without a better character, is meaningless. If we can develop a good character, So nobody will respect us. Nobody will take care of us, isn't it? So education is a process of character formation, character building, strengthening our mind. We have to prepare our mind with the help of proper education. And we can talk about that the expansion of our intelligence, our creativity, our abilities, our talents. So how much talents we have, how much talents or abilities we have, it can be developed, it can be enhanced with the help of education. So how will be popularized with other people if we are good in communication, if we are good in building rapport with the other peoples, and if you know the emotions, the mental status of other individuals, so we can easily understand what actually an individual is thinking about. So according to an old Indian proverb, a man without education is a beast without its horns or tail, isn't it? So if you don't have education, you cannot realize the world actually. A man without education is a beast. He's not able to understand the society. He's not able to manage her behavior, his behavior. He's not able to understand the incidents, accidents, the reality of society. So he's like a beast without its horn or tail. जैसे कि बीस्ट का सिंग नहीं होगा और पूछ नहीं होगा तो उसे हम क्या बोलेंगे? वो ठीक है, अच्छा नहीं है। हम ह्यूमन बीइंग हैं, अगर हमारे पास शिक्षा नहीं है, ज्ञान नहीं है, तो हम क्या करेंगे? We are not confident. We will not able to interact well with the individual. You will not get a seat in a very crucial space or a very respective position you can't handle. So we can talk about if a person doesn't having proper education, good character, so she or he is like a burden on earth and a parasite on society. So we can talk about education is a highway to the goal of human being. Or we may talk about that education is the torch bearer of every individual. Education is the master key to open all the doors of unlocked darkened rooms. So education is a very systematic through which a child or an adult acquires knowledge, isn't it? We learn in different sources through our experiences, through communication, through reading, through listening, through discussion, through debate, through uh, communication, isn't it? So, education makes an individual more civilized, more matured, more refined, more cultured, more civilized, and more educated, you may talk about. So, for being a socialized, civilized individual in the society, education is the only means, right? So, its goal is to make an individual a perfect individual. Every society gives importance to education because it is a panacea for all evils. we can only resolve the problem which is not possible through any keys, any ways. So education, we say, the master key to solve all the problems irrespective of any kind of discriminations, any kind of barriers. So it is the key to solve the various problems of life.
नहीं
Somebody,
ହେବନି କି?
please make your
ଠିକ
Subrat
ଅଛି ଉପରେ ରଖିଲି
Parsani,
ତମ ସେ ଅଫିସ ରୁ
Subrat Parsani, please make mute yourself. We are being disturbed for you. Okay, fine. So we are talking about that education. It is the master key to solve the various problems of life, isn't it? Okay. सो एजुकेशन तो हमें पता चल गया शिक्षा क्या है। शिक्षा, फिर वी हैव टू नो व्हाट इज सोशलाइजेशन। समाजीकरण क्या है? व्हाई देयर इज a need of socialization, how it happens, how long it happens, when it happens, what the need of this socialization. Okay, so you know very well, if an individual is not behaving well, you know, in your daily life you have gained experience that some people are showing some abnormal behaviors, or they have some you feel that they are not good in their behavior, their activities, and you say she's not or he's not properly socialized, isn't it? So socialization talks about, it's basically the learning of socially desirable values, norms, and roles by the members of a particular group or society. Right? So, in which society you are living, in which place you are living, in which group you are living, in which community you are living, if you are not following the norms, values, ethics, roles, responsibility, duties, so you are not socialized in that situation, in that place. So, socialization, which is the learning of socially desirable values, mulyabodh. We have to know what is my responsibility, what is my duties, what is the ethics of a human being, to whom I should respect, to whom I should care, what should I do, what is my role in this society, in this village, in this district, in this state, in this nation, or you may say in my family. We can talk about also, it is a process by which people develop their human capacities and acquire a unique personality and identify. Also, you can talk about, it is the identity and by which culture is passed from one generation to another generation. So we can easily say that it is this kind of process through which peoples develop their intelligence, develop their habits, develop their modifies their behavior, their capacities, and also acquire a unique personality, a personality of a teacher, personality of a doctor, personality of an advocate, isn't it? So they develop a kind of personality according to that group, according to that society, according to that community, and they create identity. personality and create identity. Okay, I am a teacher, so their behavior, attitude, their activities should be reflected. And also we can talk about which culture, the culture of that society, that group is passed from one generation to another generation. It is very much truth in nature. Okay, another question comes to our mind, that is socialization or is a continuous process, is a never-ending process, is a lifelong process, or you may say it is a fixed process. No, it is a lifelong process of inculcation. You have inculcate values, you have to develop the values, you have to acquire the values, whereby an individual learns the principles, the ethics, the values, and the symbols of the social system in which the individual she or he is living, participating, and showing expression of those values, those norms, and playing those roles as per need, and they enact. So socialization happens throughout our life. In every stage of our life, we learn something, we develop something, we develop values, we learn new things, new principles, new ideas, new facts, new informations. So all these things we get in time through certain experiences and new knowledge, right? So if we talk about very simply that what can be the important characteristics of socialization. You know, socialization is a lifelong process. It's a lifelong process. You cannot say it stops in adolescence period, or you cannot say it stops at certain age level. You know, in every stage of life, in every days of life, in every aspects of our life, we learn something new, acquire something new. We are being educated through our experiences, through interactions, through communications, through reading, through listening musics, or through listening some uh, sources of information, isn't it? So, as the experience is being modified, we are being socialized. So, it is a lifelong process. It continues throughout the life. Again, socialization, it immensely helps building, developing, inculcating the values, right? Those who are, you have seen that many people, so they are very benevolent in nature, very decent in nature, they are revered, they are a very esteemed personality. So we can say that we generally report, okay, that people is very much sincere,
Sir, 1 minute.
very dedicated.
Sir,
Okay,
sir,
yes,
ମୋର କିଛି ସାଙ୍ଗ ଜଏନ୍ ହେଇପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି, ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ଆଡ୍ କରିଦେବେ କି?
I am extremely sorry, I am not the host.
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ସେ ଲିଙ୍କ କାମ କରୁନି କ'ଣ
So
କହୁଛନ୍ତି?
I may request, no link is working, that's why we have joined. How it can be working? It's working, that's why we have joined here. And I am taking the class and you are listening me, you are replying
ଓକେ
also.
ସାର୍, ଓକେ, ଠିକ।
So definitely the link is working. Okay. So I request the host, please, if there is some students are not able to join, please join them, isn't it? So it's a duty of all the students. Your responsibilities is like the students' socialization. If you talk about socialization perspective of students, The punctuality, sincerity is very much important, isn't it? If you are joining in the time, it's good. Okay, fine. We are talking about characteristics of socialization. Fine. Any more question? Okay. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, you know very well that socialization happens throughout the life, and it helps developing our character, inculcation of values, ethics, principles. We are very principle life we maintain. ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଆମେ କୁହନ୍ତି ଯେ ଲୋକଟି କେତେ ଭଲ ବିହେଭିୟର ଶୋ କରୁଛି, ତାର କି ସୁନ୍ଦର ବ୍ୟବହାର, ତା କଥାରେ କେତେ ମଧୁରତା ଅଛି, ବା କେତେ ସଭ୍ୟ ସେ ଲୋକଟି. That means it shows that how much she is adequate, or it means how much the qualities, positive qualities developed within her. So, principles, values, and symbols of love, care, and respect together help for socialization. You know, socialization enables an individual to enact certain roles, to play certain roles, to do certain roles, to perform the role of their life. When a man is not properly socialized, he is not able to identify, able to notice what actually my duty, my responsibility, my role in this society, in my family, in my career, in my group, in my community. Okay. When is socialized in that perspectives, in that area, is capable enough to perform his duties, his responsibilities, and the task given to her. Again, the roles that one enacts are in accordance with what he has learned from the process. Definitely, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଶିଖନ୍ତି, ଜାଣନ୍ତି, it definitely helps us more to make our activities more systematic, more authentic, more mature, more modified, isn't it? So again, we can talk about the roles of a person enacts are the expression of his social nature. So one individual's social nature, expression of social nature, talks about how he is playing the role of his task or the assignment given to him or her. Again, the development of the social nature enables an individual to participate in social life. ଆମର ତ social qualities develop ହେଇଯିବ ଆମ ଭିତରେ, ସମାଜକୁ ବୁଝିବା, ସମାଜରେ ଆମର କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ଜାଣିବା, ଏଥିକ୍ସ କ'ଣ ବୁଝିବା, ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଜ କ'ଣ ବୁଝିବା, କୋଉଟା ଠିକ କୋଉଟା ଭୁଲକୁ ଜାଣିପାରିବା, ସେଇଟା ଆମକୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବ ଆମ ସାମାଜିକ ଜୀବନକୁ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ନିର୍ବାହ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଆମକୁ ଏକ ଶାନ୍ତି ଶୃଙ୍ଖଳ ବା ଖୁସି ଜୀବନ ଯାପନ କରିବାରେ ଆମକୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ସହାୟତା କରିବ. So the nature of what one communicates in society is determined by the influence of one's interaction with society. the nature of what one communicates in society, how you will communicate in society is determined by the influence of one interaction of society. How you are involved in the process of interaction with your society, it will be reflected with your behavior, with your communication skill, with your relationship with your colleagues, your friends, your relatives, your parents, or you may say anything. Fine. So generally, today's we see people are educated, but they are not socialized. We have seen that some have a bike accident or any kind of accident. People are directly going to the place and taking photos, videos, uploading in the social media, and taking selfies. And they are demanding for likes and follows. So we say, where is the socialization? Where is the place of socialization? If you're educated, so most human behavior is learned, not instinctive. So we have to develop the culture of our personality. We have to develop our level of behavior. So human behavior is learned. Human behavior is learned. We acquire from somewhere, from our senior, from parents, from mother, from brother, from sister, from teacher, anybody else. It is not instinctive always. So we can say the capacity of the child to learn and to internalize is called the plasticity of human nature. It is important thing. The capacity of the child to learn and internalize, to learn from whom? Other persons, from society, from parents, from mothers, father, brother, sister, from family, schools, community members, playgrounds, libraries, medias, newspaper. The capacity of the individual to learn and internalize, not only knowing or learning, but also to internalize the fact is called the plasticity of human nature. How adequately we have learned the thing. Okay. So got the point that socialization is very much important. To be a honored individual, to be a respected individual, to be a civilized person, socialization is important, needful. So socialization, as you know, it is a continuous process, it's a lifelong process. So we will talk about some stages of socialization. As you know that ଆମେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଚ୍ୟୁଟରେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କିଏ କଲେଜରେ ପାଠ ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି, କିଏ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ପାଠ ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି, କିଏ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟିରେ ପାଠ ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି, କିଏ ଟିଉସନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, but we may not have good relation with our colleagues, we may not have good communication skill to build rapport with our colleagues, friends, isn't it? So socialization is important, very much. Okay, so we'll talk about the certain stages of socialization that you know. Socialization starts from age zero. From birth, the socialization starts, isn't it? And the stage is known as the oral stage. You know that 0 to 1 years, the child is not able to talk a single word. He only says, what says? Bubbles in her face, in her lips. Bubbles are there. Sounds are there. Some different kind of sounds are there. But at the first stage, you know, socialization happens without communication. How? The infant builds up fairly definite expectations about feeding time, how you are caring the child, feeding the child, and she learns to signal her pressing needs for care. You know that?
Excuse me,
ఎంతవరకు
sir.
తమకు yes.
The plasticity of human nature, what's the meaning of actually?
Anybody else? Can you tell me, please?
Sir, it is actually the ability to adapt with the environment, means the flexibility of the character to adaptive to the environment.
Exactly. So, how adequately you are able? One second, there is. Okay, okay. So, I'm talking about how adequately you are adjusting to the society, you are understanding to the society, you are adapting to the society, to the environment with your urges, with your experience, with your qualities. Okay, fine. Let us, we'll talk about the stages of socialization. We are talking about the oral stage, that is 0 to 1 year. At the first stage, the infant builds up fairly definite expectations about feeding time, and the child learns to sign, gives certain signals, and the signals are her pressing needs for care, for love, for affection. During this stage, the infant is not involved in the family as a whole, but she is involved only in the subsystem consisting of herself and her mother, isn't it? So here, socialization happens if we keep smile in our face, she keeps smile in her face. If we show our hand, she may raise her hand or may point you. So, the love and care during this stage makes the child socialized. Okay, so after this stage, when the age is 1 to 3 years, or you may say the anal stage, here the child is able to communicate somehow in small words. Language development is there. The child is able to now speak small words. The anal stage of socialization covers the period between first and third year of child life. Here, important thing is the toilet training is the main focus of this stage. Is also a process of socialization. How to use the toilet. There is a theory in psychology you may talk about. If you know the uh, psychosexual theory of Freud, you may get there the details here regarding this. So another stage of socialization covers the period between 1 to 3 years only. Toilet training is very much important aspects during this stage, and also during this stage the child internalizes two important roles: her own and what of her mother. Now clearly separate. The child receives love and care and gives love in return, isn't it? You will give a hug, and he will or she will impressed, or she will take a smile in her face. Then the third stage we may talk about the Oedipal stage. Generally, it happens between 4 to 11 years, or you may say the puberty starts in this stage. So, the start stage, the child at school, at school, maybe in kindergarten, maybe Anganwadi, or maybe in primary school. Okay, primary or upper primary school. The third stage extends from about the fourth year to puberty. Puberty means the signal of adolescence, the sign. During this stage, the child becomes a member of the family as a whole. We ask her, ask him, her choice, which kind of dress you want to purchase or you want to wear, what you want to eat, isn't it? The child identifies itself with the social role and ascribed to him or her on the basis of his or her gender or sex. We behave. You are a girl and you should do the behavior like this. You should wear like dresses like this. You are a boy. You should behave like this. You should wear like this. You should treat like this. You should play these games. You should uh, work like this. So all these things we try to learn them. So they are socialized to the family members because education happens through learning. When we get ideas, informations from a source. Again, the important stage that we may talk about adolescence. Adolescence in this societal perspectives, or you may say socialization, it is extend to 11 to onwards. But the adolescence I have written why it's 18, 19. The adolescence actual period is 11 age to 18 or 19 age. The maximum growth, development, everything happens during this stage. Maturity also comes to this stage. We can talk about the adolescence, the stage, very strict stage, the stage of stress and storm, larger number of issues welcome to our life. Everybody has school experience and knows the suffer, which school I have to study. They are not socialized properly. What subject I have to prefer, which I have where, in which tuition I have to join, isn't it? So the fourth stage begins roughly at puberty. At this stage, young boy or girls want to be freed from the control of parents. They want freedom. They need freedom. We make us independent. We have talent, we have power, we have ability, and we can perform our work. So the question, that is the crisis or the need of this period, is precisely the strain produced by much greater demands for independence. According, this is the result of this stage, isn't it? Because of certain changes of her body, it happens. So this also happens socialization as a parent. We guide our students, we guide our childrens that how should you behave, how should you keep your words, how should maintain your life, isn't it? So by the time the individual attains maturity, major parts of socialization is over. Major part of socialization is over in which period? Maximally the adolescence. So through it continues for the whole of the life.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Your PPT is not now. Now it got changed. Otherwise, it hasn't been like. earlier changed. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, okay. So we are talking about adolescence. That uh, this is the fourth stage of socialization. I may say that very much important because during this stage, an individual learns many things of life. The critical thinking develops, the hypothetical ability develops, the decision making power develops, the adjustment capacity develops, the rational thinking develops, the logical thinking develops. Logical thinking in this level is very much higher. So through this development, through this behavioral changes, an individual learns about the nature of society, the nature of life, the do and don'ts of life, and so many talents they show as it is the period of stress and strain. Which subject I should prefer, in which institute I should read, in which uh, profession I should join, how should I develop my career. So through the interaction among the senior members of the society, she is more or he is more socialized about her life. Okay. Now we will talk about agencies of socialization. Is there any source who is responsible for our socialization, who plays an important role for socialization? You know that? If
Society.
Arpita Giri, anything you want to say?
Yes, society. Society can important role to socialization.
Definitely. Very good. So we
Sir,
agree with this.
primary agency is family
Exactly.
to
Because we
socialize.
born from the family.
Secondary school.
Okay, okay, okay. So you know that there are some primary sources of socialization and some secondary sources of socialization, right? Okay, you are very
Yes.
well. Okay. So as you talk about, there are set of socialization or agencies of socialization. Family is the first pertinent important agency for socialization because the child is nurtured, developed, learned, acquired so many behavior qualities, role responsibilities, right and wrong, isn't it? As you know that the family is the smallest unit of society, isn't it? Family is the smallest unit of society and it represents in all respects. It is the locus of early socialization, or the you may talk about the internalization of basic values of culture. Because karan kon, the child is mostly dependent on the relationship with your parents. What kind of qualities, what kind of behavior we will show to our parents, that means we have learned from our parents. So as a parent, how we will deal to our children, that kind of socialization will develop among them. So as a parent, it is the duty and responsibility of all how to nurture, how to develop the positive and vibrant qualities among the children for being a good person, or you may say a better person, isn't it? You know, ପରିବାରରେ ଆମେ ସବୁଠାରୁ ମୁଖ୍ୟ ବା ଆମେ କଣ ତାକୁ କହିବା, ଅ, ପରିବାରରେ ଆମେ ସବୁଠାରୁ important qualities, need based qualities we develop here. ଆମକୁ କେମିତି ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ ହୁଏ, କେମିତି ବ୍ରଶ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ହୁଏ, କେମିତି ବସିବା ପାଇଁ ହୁଏ, କେମିତି କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ହୁଏ, how to talk, how to sit, how to walk, how to behave, how to accept, how not to react. So everything we learn from our family. So the basic requirements involved in walking, talking, playing with other children, eating, toilet training, and generally dealing with adults are learned in the informal way in family. We say, रोहन ऐसे बात नहीं करते, please keep your word in control. So the family is also the source of internalization of the basic cultural vocabulary of the child. We say to our children's what kind of words or vocabulary you should develop, because you know that home is the gateway or the first uh, place of education, where you know that mother is the first teacher of a child, and you know mother is the member of a family, the head of the family. So it is very much important duty and responsibility of the family to nurture, to socialize a child. That's why somehow we say family is the primary institute of socialization. Family satisfies the basic needs of human beings. Basic needs. That's why, therefore, it is called primary institution of socialization. Very good. Those who have answered the primary source. And you know that ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାଟି ସ୍କୁଲ ଯାଉଛି, when he is going to school, he also develops some potentialities, some talents, some qualities, some calibers. And you know that the role of friends or peer groups is significant in every individual's life. Every individual's life. Children like to play and move about in group of their age peers. Definitely we cannot drag to an individual, no, you don't go to that place and don't play with them, because definitely students like to play. So when they are playing in a group, when they are working in friends group, they are also socialized. This group life is very important for them and has considerable influence on the development of their self concepts. When they interact with each other, they know the rules, how to play, what are the rules and norms of that play, of that game, of that sports. So being a group, it gives them confidence and sense of security that मैं मेरे दोस्त के पास हूं, मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा. He will help me, she will help me, he will cooperate me, she will cooperate me. ये जो पॉजिटिविटी, पॉजिटिव क्वालिटी, helping nature, cooperation, caring, this kind of qualities of socialization develops during this time when they play with peer groups. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଛାଡ଼ନ୍ତିନି ଖେଳିବା ପାଇଁ, ସେତେବେଳେ ତାର ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ଆବିଲିଟିରେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ବାଧା ପହଞ୍ଚିବ. So being accepted by a group It builds up their self confidence, their innate potentialities, their inherent talents, right? So they grows simultaneously. They are playing, they are being more secure. But with the help of this peer group, they develop a sense of security, belongingness, as well develops the self confidence. Particularly, those who are popular learn to think positively of themselves, and in playing together, children learn to cooperate, learn to help, learn to respect, learn to care, learn to love, learn to assist, learn to interact, learn to know the rules. And isn't it so many things of socialization happens when children play with their groups, isn't it? Okay. Now another source we'll go, that is, school. Very much, Arpita, that how much school is important also. You know that ଘରେ ତ ଆମେ ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ ୱେରେ ପାଠ ପଢିଲେ, ଘରେ ଆମେ ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ ୱେରେ ସବୁ ଜାଣିଲେ, ଆମକୁ କେହି ବସେଇକି କହୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଏଇଟା ଏଇଆ ଏଇଟା ସେଇଆ ସବୁ। ଆମେ କାମ କଲାବେଳେ ଭୁଲ କଲେ ବା ଛୁଆଟି କାମ କଲାବେଳେ ଭୁଲ ଯେତେବେଳେ କରୁ ତାକୁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ନାଇଁ ଏମିତି କାମ କରାଯାଏ ନାହିଁ, ଏମିତି କାହାକୁ ରିପ୍ଲାଏ ଦିଆଯାଏ ନାହିଁ, ଏମିତି ବିହେଭିୟର ଶୋ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। ସୋ ୱି ଜଷ୍ଟ ଟେଲ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ informally. But when we talk about the school, it is formal in nature, systematic in nature, matured in nature, isn't it? So, in modern society, industrial society, the school system has emerged as one of the most potent agencies of socialization. Many things we learn from our school. Many things. Schools offer two contexts for the students. Very much important context. The first one is the formal context of the classroom, where the context of socialization is divided by prescribed curriculum. Right? ये जो स्कूल क्लासरूम रे हम बता होची the rules, norms, regulations of school, duties of school, duties of a student. What is the duty of a student for the nation, for the society? How should be a good human being? How we can be important personality in the nation? So many things she learns from the school as well from the classroom. She learns so many things about from the textbook also. She or he learns so many things about our country, about the geographical positions, mathematical problems, our poets, our history, culture, so many things, because they are the evidence. The books are the evidence of the proof of our history, culture. Wherein the context of socialization, decided in the prescribed in our curriculum. The second context is informal and can be perceived in interpersonal relationship of students with teachers and among the students. Right? We know formally with school, direct interaction, teachers is saying something, and we are learning, students are learning many things. As well, nowadays, as the mode of education, the methodology changes, students are learning in groups, in group discussion, debates, competitions, science exhibitions, right? They develop interpersonal relationships. how to understanding others' view, respecting others' opinion, accepting others' opinion. Because ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ କ୍ଲାସରେ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାଟି ଉତ୍ତର ଦଉଛି, କିଛି ବି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଉତ୍ତର ଦଉଛି, ସେ ମେ ବି ଇନକରେକ୍ଟ, ବଟ୍ ତା ଜ୍ଞାନ, what amount of knowledge, information she is or he is giving, it is her best. ସେ ତା ଅନୁସାରେ ଠିକ ଉତ୍ତର ଦଉଛି, ସେ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛି କହୁଛି. So we cannot ignore him or ignore her. We should accept and we should tell the right thing if in his or she is wrong. So socialization happens in every phases, every stages, in every places. Interpersonal relationship, understanding others' view, respecting others' view, self-esteem, self-respect. So many things happens. You know that teachers give the ideas about many things. The school teachers are the secondary socializing agents. They help for imbibing the norms, values, behavioral patterns, ethics, principles of life, principles and responsibilities, duties of a student, the characteristics of a student, isn't it? So simply, school may be called the secondary source of socialization.
School is the replica of society and miniature of society and mirror of society where learner learns many social behaviors in many ways.
Thank you very much. Excellent. You know that what we do, society, or you may say, is the mirror of our behavior, our activities, our deeds, isn't it? It is reflected. It is clear and clear. You know, I first slide particularly. What amount of behavior you have learned from your early childhood, from your school, college, universities, or whatever talents or abilities you have developed, it will be reflected through your behavior, isn't it? Fine. Guli Jabin, thank you very much. Now we'll talk about the mass media. You know that today's the role of mass media is highlighted. Very much important. Greater significance is there, isn't it? You know, in modern society, the means of mass communication such as television, radio, cinema, newspaper, books, and audio video cassettes have become an integral part of life, isn't it? They play a very significant role, important role, vital role in the socialization process of viewers. Every day we read newspaper, we see news, television we see important news, isn't it? So very important role play karuchi socialization process of their viewers, those who are seeing, those who are reading, and also those who are listening. So this mass media, especially the television, radio, FM, simultaneously convey same message to nationwide audience, you know very well. Therefore, its impact on the process of socialization assumes greater significance, isn't it? এই যে চারটা আমি পড়িলে agencies, these are greater significance, and there are others also. They play some significant role in, you may talk about, in the development of the individual's behavior and making more socialized. Now we'll see the social structure. Social structure. Before knowing to social structure, it is we have to know about the who are there in a society. Then we'll make it a structure. You know that in sociological point of view, a part may mean a social group comprising a set of social relationship, isn't it? ଆମର ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡସ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ରିଲେଟିଭ୍ସ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ବ୍ରଦର ଅଛନ୍ତି, ସିଷ୍ଟର ଅଛନ୍ତି, husband ଅଛନ୍ତି, wife ଅଛନ୍ତି, sister ଅଛନ୍ତି. So many ways we are connected. For instance, we can say a family is nothing but a set of social relationship between and among the individuals connected through either descent or blood or marriage. Either descent or blood or marriage. So in this sense, we can say that a family may be treated as a part in the social structure. A family may be treated as a part in the social structure. You know very well that family is nothing. It is a set of social relationship. Brothers relationship, maybe blood relationship, husband wife relationship through marriage, brother sister relationship or blood, isn't it? Similarly, we can say one can think of social groups. कौन social group ମୁଁ ଭାବିବି ନା ମୁଁ ହଉଛି ମନେକର ହିନ୍ଦୁ ପିଲାଟେ କି ମୁସଲିମ ପିଲାଟେ କି ମୁଁ ଏଇ ପଲିଟିକ୍ସ କୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ କରୁଛି କି ମୋର ବିଜନେସ ଅଛି କି ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ଡକ୍ଟର କି ମୋର ଅନ୍ୟ କିଛି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଅଛି. Similarly, one can think social groups as religious groups, political parties, business organizations, hospitals, schools, trade unions, etc. So many are there as being various part of the whole that is the society. Society constitute these all. And you know very well that how it is important in our life. So in a nutshell, we can say we can interpret the structure of social system which includes in four heads that groups and subgroups of various types. Political party ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଅଛି, ଧର୍ମ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଅଛି, ବିଜନେସ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଅଛି, ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ୍ସ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ସ୍କୁଲ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ସେମି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ବି ଅଛି ସ୍କୁଲ ଗୁଡା. So various types interconnected by rational norms. They are linked, they are connected through certain norms, principles, regulations. They are connected. Roles of various types within the larger systems and within the subsystems, the subgroups. Each role system is also connected with others, each other. देखो हमें we are connected with everybody. The education is connected with bank is connected with medical is connected with business. Then again, it is all are interconnected, interlinked through certain rational norms, certain rational rules, isn't it? So we all constitute this structure, regulative norms governing subgroups and roles. That what kind of standard norms are there, standard rules are there. School by norm है, business by norm है, college by norm है. So hospitals treatment by norms है. So there are different norms and also cultural values in different dimensions from one geographical area to another geographical area, from one place to another place, we may say. Okay. So we can say that a social structure can be classified as a network of social institution and social relationship. It's a kind of network of social institutions. So many social institutions are there. Those who are doing business, those who are hospitals, those who are school, colleges, so many. And social relationship. We are connected, we are bounded with certain rational norms, isn't it? So it consists of relatively stable and orderly interrelationship among various parts, various ways, in various conditions also. Right? So we can say that the concept of social structure is the concept of social structure is central in the sociological literature. It is used to designate an orderly arrangement of parts like together as a whole, right? So in this sense, we may talk about family may be treated as very much important part in social structure, isn't it? If we think of society as a municipality of social groups such as family हो, religious groups हो, political parties हो, occupational groups हो, then each of these groups exhibit organized, fairly, stable, or commonly accepted laws, ways of behavior. So each of these groups are distinguished by certain standard norms, rules, and they play their duties. So the goal is that they set out for themselves and the status is attached to each other within the group. So in other words, we can say that it is a part may also be understood as a social institution and a social system comprise a number of social institutions. It's a number of social institutions. I would another thing we can say that further social system is composed of the interrelated activities of people. Its structure must be sought in some degree of regularity or recurrence of the activities. So structure also has certain roles and any occupant of role is expected to fulfill certain patterns of obligations and behavior. You know very well that you may say that therefore we say a social structure can be defined as a network of social institutions, government ho, private ho, social relationships. It consists of relatively stable and an orderly relationship among various parts. Right? Okay. Then next is what is the role and function of education in the social structure? Isn't it? The role and function of education in social structure. When the question comes to our mind, you know, education is the process of preparing people to fit in the complex social structure through the process of socialization. Socialization number hela. And education it is a platform ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ତିଆରି କରୁଛି to fit in the social structure and different organization ତୁମେ କାମ କରିବ ତମେ job କରିବ you will maintain it. And also education helps the individual to train for the future role of an adult of a light in a company, in an organization, in a school, in a hospital, medical, bank, anything else. So it helps how to train, how to get education, how to be uh, skilled. So all social institutions define the pattern of relationship and behavior which is expected of the person who belong to what ମୁଁ କଣ ହେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି so the ଏ ମାନେ ସମାଜରେ କିଛି ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ସୋସିଆଲ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ୍ସ ଅଛି ଦ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ସୋସିଆଲ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ୍ସ ଆର୍ କନସର୍ଣ୍ଣ ୱିଥ୍ ରେଗୁଲେସନ୍ସ नियम कानून अच्छी रेगुलेशन ऑफ इन व्हाट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट्स पॉलिटिकल एस्पेक्ट familial aspect educational aspect religious aspect and human life perspectives isn't it so we can say that the children have to learn to be fathers or mothers or teachers or civil servants or shopkeepers or priest anything else you say the children have to learn isn't it so the children or an individual have to learn to be member of the society have to be the member of more than an institutional group ସେଥିପାଇଁ therefore the child prepares himself. Anybody saying anything? Okay, fine. So we can talk about that the child. कौन कहते हाँ. The child prepare himself or herself to make multiple roles, and we are also playing multiple roles through the process socialization in general and in education in particular. So education in this context may be the informal way in informal education received in the family or a peer group or the formal education जोटा आमे स्कूल रु ग्रहण करिथांती जे केमिति लाइफ मेंटेन करिवो केमिति दब तमे स्कूल शिखले हाउ टू अटेंड इंटरव्यू घरे कहले जे केमिति तमे इंटरव्यू तमे यदि किछि झाला तमे केमिति ताको रिप्लाई करूछ केमिति तमे केते कोडियल वॉइस रे तमे रिप्लाई करूछ सो द चाइल्ड गेट अंडरस्टैंड so the child get to understand her role what kind of role has to play in the wider society through the formal education received in the school so education केमिति help करू social role रे ना केमिति से what kind of role is her is learned through a school it is also here a child learns to conform to the rules and regulations of human behavior in groups and institutions. You know that there are certain different rules in schools, different rules of in any organization, private companies, different rules in regulations in hospitals, different rules in banks. So there are different rules according to the change in institutions. So education playing an important role because they have individual have to learn to impartial and they have to adopt a set of do's and don'ts. They also have to be prepared to change the social qualities. Whatever they learn, ମୁଁ ଆଗରୁ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛି ତା ଭୁଲ ହେଇପାରେ knowledge ଯାହା ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ତା ଭୁଲ ହେଇପାରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ନୂଆ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଚ୍ୟୁଟରେ ମୁଁ କାମ କରୁଛି I am getting some new advices new informations so I have to accept I have to change thus the need of society to bring up and to educate our children leads to the institution of family and to whole set of educational institutions which are very much important and these you may say that school and family very much important as well as interrelated with the uh, societal structure. Fine. Again, we can say that the structure of the institution can be described well in terms of status, positions, rights, duties, responsibilities, rules, chains of authority. But remember, the culture of institution results from the manifest activities of their living participants. କେମିତି ଆମର ବିହେଭିୟର, ଆମର ଆଟିଟ୍ୟୁଡ୍ସ, ଆମର ଫିଲିଙ୍ଗସ୍, ଆମର ସେଣ୍ଟିମେଣ୍ଟସ୍, social and cultural habits, whatever the habits we have, ceremonies we observe, rituals we have, isn't it? It plays a important, it had a very important factors, right? Again, we can say that how education is helpful. The function of education lies both the maintenance and renewal of social structure, isn't it? Social structure ଯାହା ଅଛି ଆମେ କଣ ସେୟା ରଖିବା? ଦିନକୁ ଦିନ ସୋସାଇଟି ବହୁତ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି, ଆଡଭାନ୍ସ ହଉଛି, ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ଆସୁଛି, ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ଚେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ ଆସୁଛି, and we are living styles also being changed. So, and the transmission of development of our culture also being happening. So it depends on the differences in the socio-cultural backgrounds of the status of individuals in the modern societies, isn't it? So we can say education, it also functions as a main stratifying agent in the context of industrial societies, right? So the role, we can say that the role of the role the role of education and the function of education and social structure is significant one. Next, we'll talk about the social stratification, right? Social stratification, you know very well. A social stratification refers to the hierarchical arrangement of group of peoples stratified form, right? In terms of criteria like economic wealth, property, political power, prestige, and social honor. As well, we can say that social stratification existed aguru thila as far back as human civilization itself. Okay. କେମିତି ନା ଛୋଟ କଥା କହିବି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ବିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ମୁଭ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍, ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବଣରେ ଶିକାର କରୁଥିଲେ ବା ଲୋକମାନେ ବଣରେ ଶିକାର କରୁଥିଲେ, ହଣ୍ଟିଂ ଗ୍ୟାଦରିଂ ସୋସାଇଟି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ସେନିଟରୀ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚରାଲକୁ ଆସିଲେ, ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଲା। A variety of occupation developed but are essential to the functioning of the society, isn't it? So inevitably these occupations, ଏ ଯୋଉ ଚାଷ କରିବା, କିଏ ପକ୍ଷୀ ଧରିବା, କି କିଏ ବିଜନେସ୍ କରିବା, କିଏ ଯୋଉ different occupations were ranked hierarchically, usually based on the amount of preparation and training required for the required of the importance of the occupation of a particular society. ସେଇ occupation ପାଇଁ କଣ କଣ training ଦରକାର. So this kind of unequal arrangement of groups, unequal arrangement ମାନେ ସେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଦିଗରେ ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ହେଲା, ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଦିଗରେ ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ହେଲି. This kind of unequal arrangement of groups of people existed for centuries, and it was accepted as a part of society. These are higher people, these are poor people, these are middle people. So it is felt that social stratification is necessary to maintain social order, isn't it? So the order is maintained by the interdependence of individuals and a group of each other. So ଜଣେ sociologist ଏକ ନାଁ ଅଛି Pittirim Sorokin, Pittirim, Pittirim Sorokin, vividly said, an eminent sociologist, କଣ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସେ, Now, an unstratified society with the real equality of its members is a myth which has never been realized in the history of mankind. An unstratified society with real equality of its member is a myth. କେମିତି ସମ୍ଭବ ହେଇପାରିବ? Because we know there are differences which has never been realized in the history of the mankind. This is very much true. It is very much true, isn't it? So you know that.
Please repeat. Excuse me, sir. Sir, please repeat.
Okay, so the eminent sociologist named Petrim Sorokin, an eminent sociologist, vividly talked about an unstratified society with real equality of its members is a myth which has never been realized in the history of mankind. It is very true. If you are not realized about the history of mankind, if we actually realize, you can see from the very first civilization there exists the social stratification. Raja Maharaj समय हो, from the very beginning of our mankind, you may identify it. Okay. Again, in simply we can talk about socialization is what? The social stratification is what? Social stratification refers to society's categorization of its people into rankings based on factors like sampati, like wealth, income, education, highly educated, no educated, middle educated, family background, economic status, and power. Right? In जो different condition रे we are divided, isn't it? Again, socialization, sorry, social stratification we may be clarified through certain a very good definition given by Ogborn and Nimkov. The process by which individuals and groups are ranked in a more or less enduring hierarchy of status is known as stratification. It is only a process. Social stratification is a process through which individuals and groups are ranked in a more or less enduring hierarchy. Higher class, middle class, lower class family. According to economic status, if we may, we may say that economic status of the peoples, isn't it? So this is social stratification, you may say. And you know, there are certain uh, facts which is important on the basis of social stratification. It is pertinent factor for each and every individuals to know that really it exists, and we should accept it that social stratification plays an important role for social order, right? And certain theories also here there. You may go through that. Uh, and we can talk about the, I have not written here, but I can say here that if you talk about the types of social stratification, it may be more than one type: slavery type, caste type socialization, no, sorry, social stratification, social class. Social class, a class system which is a social ranking primarily based on economic position, in which achieved characteristics can be influenced mobility. Education is an important contributory factor जोटा कि achieving such as class position ପାଇଁ। ଆଉ କଣ, these are or you may say income inequality is the main characteristic of class system, right? So education and social stratification, these are also important thing given by Emile Durkheim. He believed that education in any society is a transmission of that society norms and values. ଯଦି କୌଣସି ସୋସାଇଟିର ନର୍ମସ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଜକୁ from one generation to another generation carries, that is education, isn't it? So it is important factor. We can say that the various way education and social stratification in society, they are related. Most important of them is that education is the primary generator of social mobility. In any modern industrial society you may think, ଆମେ ଯୋଉ society ଆଜି ବସବାସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଶିକ୍ଷା ବିନା କିଛି କରିପାରିବା ନାହିଁ, କୁଆଡ଼େ ଯିବା ବୁଲିବା ଦେଖିବା କିଛି ବି ଜାଣିପାରିବା ନାହିଁ। So different living standard ଆମର ବି different ଅଛି। So this ଯୋଉ relationship ରହୁଛି social stratification education ଭିତରେ, is little complex to understand। କଣ understand କେମିତି ହେଲା? Example ଦଉଛି। Education is the main component in achieving status। ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଯୋଗ୍ୟତା ଅଛି, ପାଠ ପଢିଛନ୍ତି, ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ଦେଲେ, ଜବ୍ କଲେ, ଚାକିରି କଲେ, ଆର୍ନ କଲେ, ଆମର ଲାଇଫ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଗଲା। Status and social class system. On the other hand, stratification system is the deciding factor in the differential access to education, isn't it? So therefore, the relationship between education and social stratification is very complex and only can be understood in relation to the concept of social mobility. How much we are developed, କେତେ ଆମର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି, କେତେଟା ଆମେ ଜାଣୁଛନ୍ତି। ଆଉ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ମନରେ ଆସେ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ସୋସିଆଲ ମୋବିଲିଟି କଣ? ନା ସୋସିଆଲ ମୋବିଲିଟି ହଉଛି any transmission of individual or any object by any value that have been created or modified by human activity from one position to another position, that is social mobility. Okay, so thank you for today's class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
uh,
Thank you, sir.
Dear
Thank you, sir.
students, you are very new to me and I am also very new to you. So I hope you know me, and again I want to introduce myself. This is Mr. Vijay Kumar Das, Assistant Professor, Educational Studies, Dharanidhara University, Keonjhar, Odisha. And I will take care of your paper, this paper, societal context of education, today onwards. Again, there is next class is in from 15th January, 24th January, 2 February, 9 February and 16 February. So I hope you will join all the classes and will make it more interactive. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Any
Okay,
question
sir.
comes to your mind or anything you
Thank
want?
you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. One question.
Okay, fine.
What is conventional education?
What is?
Conventional education.
Okay, very good question you have asked. Can anyone explain this conventional? Or I will proceed. Anybody, please? Okay, so let me explain. When you talk about the conventional education, conventional, it talks about the traditional education, the customary education, the previous longly established education systems, right? ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲେ, ତମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନା ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହିବି?
Yes, sir. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛୁ.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So, the more when the old method of education system is known as the conventional method of system, where the teacher is the ultimate source of information and knowledge. We are not using advanced methods. We are not using technology. We are not using new teaching learning materials. Interactive sessions are not there. That is the conventional old method of teaching.
Sir,
What
Like traditional
ancient
teaching.
time,
कौन कौन अम्मा कौन any you please tell me.
sir, like ancient time education, like Vedic period, Buddhist period.
Exactly, very good, nice. So here we may say that is teacher centered education. That is, traditional based education or traditional education system. Teacher is the ultimate source of knowledge and information which is performed during the Vedic period, the ancient period, or you may say the when there is a king and emperor, the education system was purely conventional in nature. Okay, no advanced education, or we don't follow any new approaches, modern approaches. Okay, thank you for asking the question. Am I? Are you getting me?
Yes.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Any more question comes to your mind? Do you think about what is my duty and my responsibility as a MA education student? Have you ever thought that what is my responsibility and what is my duty after having MA education? And what should I do during MA education? Master of Arts in Education, a Master in Arts in Education, you are doing, all are doing MA education, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Have you ever
Yes, sir.
thought that what is my duty and responsibility, and what is the uh, future aspects of this subject? I am telling you that apart from this uh, curriculum, you may talk about that as a MA education student, definitely you should develop the knowledge in education, but the important duty of you is you have to qualify the UGC net, University Grants Commission net examination in education during this MA education period. If you have developed, you have qualified this test, this examination, you will be selected or you will be eligible to attend an interview, a job for assistant professors in college and universities. So you must have certain ideas about the education course era, education importance, and the future prospects, right? So it is important for you all as you are learning from different dimensions, different sources. we are acquiring information and knowledge. As well, we have to know, right? It is very much important. We have to qualify the UGC net for being an assistant professor or lecturer in college and universities, right? ठीक है क्या गलत है?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Right,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Okay. Anything more? Any more question comes to your mind?
Sir, what is mobilization?
Hmm.
Sir, what is socialization?
कौन?
What is socialization?
तुम्हें फास्ट जॉइन करना थे कि सिलेबस सॉरी क्लास?
करथिले sir.
I am again showing you. मत तमे पढ़ी बुझाओ. सर नमस्कार क्लास रे अछि. Hello, am I audible now? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes,
बुझी
sir.
पारल कि नहीं? Those who are asking question what actually socialization is. ମୁଁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହୁଛି ତମ ପାଖରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସମାଜକୁ ଜାଣିବାର, ଚିହ୍ନିବାର, ନିଜକୁ ଜାଣିବାର, ଚିହ୍ନିବାର ନିୟମ, values, ethics, ideas, norms, regulations, principles এই ସବୁ ତମ ଭିତରେ ଡେଭଲପ କରିଯିବ, you will be a socialized person. When you will behave in a more matured, systematic, positive way, definitely you are a socialized person. Socialization happens when we have good qualities, when we show good behavior, isn't it? Socialization is a process in which process you develop certain qualities, certain talents, certain good behaviors, certain ethics, certain values, isn't it? Okay. বা ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଡରେ କହିପାରିବା socialization is the inculcation of new values, talents, and laws of life. Okay.
Sir, socialization is the process of knowing one's own culture, without which man will be an animal.
Exactly. If we are not able to about the society, our deeds, our behavior, our activities, if we are not able to decide difference between the right and the wrong, if we are not able to know about the right thing for a right time for right purpose, we are not socialized. Very good. Guli Jabin. Any more question comes to your mind?
Sir, what is mobilization?
कौन कहला?
Mobilization.
What is mobilization?
मोबिलिटी बुझी पारले कि नहीं?
ना सर टिके एक्सप्लेन कर दियंतु.
तो मोबिलिटी बुझी पार के मते कहो.
ना सर. Mobility, what is mobility? Mobility रो mobilization. ये बुझी दियंतु सर टिके.
हाँ, मोबिलिटी तो मैं कहि सारछि. अच्छा तुम क्वेश्चन टा के क्लियर कर दिया
ନା
मोबिलाइजेशन
ଆଉଥରେ ଟିକେ ବୁଝେଇ
के
ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ।
मोबिलाइज
गोटे पोजिशन ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟିଏ ପୋଜିସନ କୁ ଯିବା ବା ଗୋଟିଏ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟିଏ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ କୁ ମୋବିଲାଇଜ
देखो आमे जेतले कहंती जे आर यू mobilize properly, are you mobilized properly to act this ए कामटी करिया पई भवल भाବରେ mobilize हेचु कि नाही that means we say that here we can show you are it is visible or not.
Yes, sir.
The action of a country or its government preparing an organization troops or active service. And I have shared here also that you may look another chapter. Okay, I am closing it. Okay. Mobility the process was mobilization. Social mobility happens. It may be element of time. The element of time which is implicit in the activities, in our work, in our behavior, or in the any phenomena of social mobility, which is a kind of movement. upward or downward. It is upward or downward. So between the higher and the lower class, or you may say more precisely, movement between one relatively lower position to subsequent higher position, isn't it? So social mobility may be understood as any transformation of an individual or any object or any value that have been created or modified by human activity from one position to another position. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes, sir.
ଆମେ ବି କହିପାରନ୍ତି ଯେ social mobility is a process by which ଯାହା ଦ୍ୱାରା individuals move simply from one position to another position in the society. But it can be said that social mobility is an important concept to understand the movement of life. Certain groups or certain individuals in a hierarchy when we see ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସୋସାଇଟିର ମୋବିଲିଟି ଦେଖନ୍ତି ବା ଯେମିତି the social mobility signifies the movement of shifting of one individual or group in the ranking structure of society, how they are different, isn't it? Okay. Any more thing? Question?
Sir, one example, please. Social mobilization.
Okay. सोशल मोबिलाइजेशन विभिन्न प्रकार थियोरी भी अच्छी तुम जानिच तुम बहिर भी अच्छी आमे मु छोट गोटे एग्जांपल तुमको दे परिबी जे कौन कौन फैक्टर मु तुम एग्जांपल दउची जे कौन कौन फैक्टर रेस्पोंसिबल हो सोशल मोबिलिटी तुम बुझी जो जेमिति कि इंटरचेंज ऑफ रैंक हमर होची हमर गोटे रैंक रु आउट हायर रैंक को गले मोबिलिटी है कि नहीं. So any mobility that occurs in a given social system which is not a consequence of a change in the supply position And we can talk about
Sir, ଯେମିତି ଗୋଟେ
course,
uneducated person ଯେତେବେଳେ educated ହଉଛି ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ societyରେ ଅଲଗା status ଦିଆଯାଏ ତ ସେ ଯେ uneducated status ରୁ educated status କୁ change ହେଲା ସେଇଟାକୁ ହିଁ ଆମେ social mobilization କହୁଥାଉ। ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ସେ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟିଏ uneducated to educated, it's okay, good.
Sir,
When
ମାନେ
ଆମେ
ଏଇଭଳିଆ
new situation, ଗୋଟେ ସିଚୁଏସନ ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ସିଚୁଏସନ କୁ ଲର୍ନ କରନ୍ତି, ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡେଲ ବି କରନ୍ତି, there also plays the role of mobilization, isn't it? ତାର ମୋବିଲିଟି ହଉଛି, ତାର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି। ଓକେ, କଣ ଗୁଲି ଜାବିନ କଣ କହୁଥିଲ ତମେ?
ସାର୍ ମୁଁ କହିଲି ଯେମିତି ଜଣେ uneducated person ତାର ସୋସାଇଟିରେ ଯେଉଁ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ୍ ଥାଏ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ୍ ହେଇଯାଏ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଅଲଗା ଷ୍ଟାଟସ୍ ତାକୁ ଦିଆଯାଏ ତ ସେଟା ବି ଗୋଟେ ସୋସିଆଲ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ହଉଛି ଆଉ ଯେମିତି ଜଣେ ଛୋଟ ପିଲା ଥାଏ ସେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଯିବା ପରେ ତାର ଯେ ସୋସିଆଲ ବିହେଭିୟର ଗୁଡାକ ଡେଭଲପଡ ହେଇଥାଏ ତ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ୍ ତାର ମାନେ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ୍ ରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟାଟସ୍ କୁ ମୁଭ୍ କଲା ତ it is a example of social mobilization.
ଡେଫିନେଟଲି, ଭେରି ଗୁଡ, ଭେରି ଗୁଡ। ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ମୁଁ ଦେବି ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ରିକ୍ସା ବାଲାର ଝିଅ କଷ୍ଟ କରି ପାଠ ପଢିଲା ପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଆଇଏଏସ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର କରୁଛି, ୟୁପିଏସସି କ୍ୱାଲିଫାଇ କରୁଛି, ସେ ଜଣେ ଆଇଏଏସ୍ ଅଫିସର ହଉଛି ବା ଓଏସ୍ ଅଫିସର ହଉଛି, ତାର ବି ସୋସିଆଲ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ହେଲା। ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିର ସୋସିଆଲ ମୋବିଲିଟି ଚେଞ୍ଜ, isn't it? Okay, very good, Kuli Jamil. Thank you. Any more thing?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଏବେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ କଲଚରରୁ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ୱେଷ୍ଟର୍ନ କଲଚର ଆଡକୁ ଯୋଉ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ହଉଛି ସେଟା ବି ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ହେଇପାରିବ କି?
এটা ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ନୁହଁ, এটা ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫରମେସନ ହଉଛି, କଲଚରାଇଜେସନ ହଉଛି,
ତ
କଲଚରାଇଜେସନ।
sir କଲଚରାଇଜେସନ ସୋସିଆଲାଇଜେସନ ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟ ନା ତାଠୁ ଅଲଗା କିଛି ସେଇଟା?
Now, culturalization is a part of socialization, but if it in positive and positive change in the society and bringing some positive changes, means giving lesson to the society, then it will be okay. କିନ୍ତୁ କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ we are adopting certain Western cultures which is not fitted to our Indian cultures. So we cannot say it is a reason for socialization. Okay.
Okay,
When the
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
when the peoples are accepting you, when the society is accepting you, when it is verified, it is satisfied, is it respected, definitely it is the process of socialization. Thank you very much. Okay, I hope the time is there. It is 6:55 now. Thank you very much, all
Yes, sir.
students,
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
interacting and asking so
Thank you,
many.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So, ठीक है, बाद में मिलते हैं. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ajay sir, are you listening me? गुड़िया तुम घर कोठी कोठ आसछ तमे
କେନ୍ଦୁଝର ସାର୍
କେନ୍ଦୁଝର
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କେନ୍ଦୁଝର କୋठी ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଝୁମ୍ପୁରା ସାର୍
ଝୁମ୍ପୁରାର କୋଉଠି ଝୁମ୍ପୁରାର ବ୍ଲକ ବିଓ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ବ୍ଲକ ବିଓ କିଏ
ଜାଣିଲି ସାର୍ ଏବେ ନିଉ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି
ଝୁମ୍ପୁରାର ବିଓ କୁ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରକାଶ କୁମାର ସାହୁ
ଜାଣିନଥିଲି ସାର୍
ଝୁମ୍ପୁରା ବ୍ଲକ ର ବିଓ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଭେରି କ୍ଲୋଜ ଟୁ ମି ଇଜ ସେ ଇଜ ପ୍ରକାଶ କୁମାର ସାହୁ ଭେରି ଟ୍ୟାଲେଣ୍ଟେଡ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
okay okay thank you very much okay
ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ସାର୍
Jayashree where from you
କେନ୍ଦ୍ରାପଡ଼ା
okay okay now working in which institution job করছো না পড়ুছো
ପଢୁଛି ସାର୍
okay okay continue ঠিক আছে thank you
Thank you, sir.
thank you
ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ସାର୍